I asked the farmer, how does the corn remain so tall against the storm, the rain and the wind? To which she replied, the roots run deep. And so I thought about bones. I thought about my parents. And I thought about what it means to grow in both directions. How through giving we also receive. How the hermit crab, once grown to its full, too big for its home, leaves it for another one to use. How transition requires vulnerability. How the world is littered with empty cocoons left behind, like people, just like you and me, who have healed themselves by healing others. For the flower to live, the seed must die. And even now, as your perpetual awakening threatens to dispel current illusions of safety, a larger reality beckons you forwards and inwards, deeply rooted in the truth of love, withstanding any storm. Trust in the process. Surrender. Be and breathe. So allow a moment of connecting in. I invite you to close your eyes and rest your palms softly down onto the back of the knees or your thighs. And take a moment to connect in with your physical body. How does today's body feel? And then take a moment to check in with your emotional body. How does your emotional body feel? Bring the palms of the hands together in front of your heart. I'd like you to plant the seed of your sankalpa, a short, positive statement, a commitment, a vow for your practice today, using the vibrational words of I am, and a positive word, a sentence, with full intention, with full focus, with full integrity in your mind, silently now. As you next availably exhale, the head bows softly down to the heart. And feel free to blink your eyes open and raise the gaze. And come to rest into a supported position. So if you have bricks, if you haven't got bricks, use a cushion or a bolster. And if you have got bricks, the high one places into the base of the skull. And the lower one comes at this height. And you feel free to cover with a blanket or just place it as it is. It should feel comfortable. If it's not, you may need to make adjustments. And lie your body with the lower level in just above the waist, along the line of the spine, and then placing the base of the skull into the higher brick. And so it is aiming to feel comfortable. If at any time it doesn't, please take them away. Let the arms drape away from the sides of the body. The back of the hands connect with the ground. The palms feel soft and relaxed. The front of the chest is lifted and broadened. And you're able to release the base of the skull down softly into the base of the brick. Close your eyes down. Allow the tip of the tongue to rest just behind the two front teeth. And please drop all your mind down into your body, into your breath. And feel the diaphragm, that paper-thin muscle, shift, moving downwards on your inhale, contracting to the lower pelvic floors. And allow your exhale just to let go, to surrender, knowing that the next inhale will happen. Trusting as the inhale happens, that movement of the whole container of your trunk shifts. Find your own rhythm. What does it feel like for your breath to find a rhythm? What does it feel like for your breath to repeat that rhythm? Bending your knees, place your feet on the floor. And let yourself roll off to any side you wish. And just simply fall off to the side of the bricks, and then use your hands, push them down to the ground and pour yourself up like water. As you move your bricks to the side and come to rest in child's pose. Your knees may be together or a little apart. And if it feels okay for you, place a brick underneath the brow. And the arms are either resting forward or down by the sides of the chins, palms facing uppermost. So allowing the breath to be a complete anchor in your practice today. The breath is light, slow, deep, and gentle. And your next inhale, you place the palms down and simply roll yourself up. Coming into neutral tabletop position. Aligning shoulders directly over the wrists, spreading your palms, then having your knees slightly a hint back from underneath the hips. Soften the belly, tilt the pelvis forward and the hips rise and the chest rises into cat. And on your exhale, that slight doming space between shoulder blade to shoulder blade, looking to the navel. Allowing the breath to move you. Inhaling to rise. Exhaling to round. Inhaling to rise. Rounding back body, back spine. Inhaling, opening front spine. And then start to move in a clockwise direction, opening the sides of the ribs. So we have set our foundation of our hands and our shins on the ground. And we're just allowing a gentle movement in a clockwise direction. And then unwind yourself in in the opposite way. Coming to neutral spine, toes tucked. Walk your hands wider and forward into puppy pose, allowing the brow to drop, allowing the chin, chest and throat to drop. Pause here in the pose. Every exhale we connect with our root lock, our Mula Bandha. Observe the sensations of your breath. And then lightly push yourself slowly back up. And doming the space between the shoulder blades slightly, lift the knees off the floor an inch. The crown of the head to your horizon. Exhaling, press the hips back almost to the heels and stretch the soles of the feet and just look between your feet. Hug the shoulders in together, rotate the crease of the wrists and forearms and wrists and elbows to the front of the mat. And then as you exhale, raise the pelvis, come into downward facing dog. You may find you want to walk the dog and mindfully walk the dog. One heel rises, one heel lowers. And as you do this, notice how your pelvis shifts and tips and lowers with each slow movement. And then set yourself into downward facing dog. No with the neck, yes with the neck. And allow the back of the skull and the front of the brow to relax. As we take one more round of breath here. And as you exhale, slowly walk your hands back to your feet. Soften your knees, catch hold of the biceps, hang over into Uttanasana, your standing forward fold. You may find, if you practice with your eyes closed, that you sway gently from side to side. You may want to be still, grounding down the arch of the big toe joint, the baby toe joint, the heel. And once again, a little yes with the neck, a little no with the neck. As we release the arms onto the back and interlace the palms and fingers. And then draw the knuckles slowly up the bones of the spine, hugging the inner elbows in until we raise the arms into a shoulder opener, extending the forefinger into wherever direction the arms reach. Get long over the thighs, knees soft. One more round of breath into your forward fold. And then sweep the arms up the center line, coming into Utkatasana, chair pose. A low or high chair. Arms by the ears, knees tracking the toes. Next available inhale, press down, rise up. Palms touch, come down the center line, connect with the brow, the heart, into Tadasana. One round of breath here. Release the hands. And we'll take some rounds of sun salutation. So come to the front of your mat, whichever front you choose. And if it's available to you, have the feet together, the arch is active, the palms touch by the center of the chest. Exhale, the arms drop, sweep them to the sky, inhale. Come down the center line on your exhale, halfway to rise on your inhale, and step back into plank or all fours on your exhale. Take a breath in. Tap your knees, take your toes back, elbows and shoulders back. Come down to the floor. Coming into a sphinx or a low cobra or an upward facing dog with the knees onto the ground. Tucking the toes under, raise the pelvis to the sky. Downward facing dog. Look forward, step, walk or jump, halfway rise. Exhale, forward fold. Arms sweep wide to the side, inhale, palms touch. Exhale, hands come down the center line. To repeat, inhale, exhale. Halfway rise, plank or all fours. Breathe in, tap your knees, elbows, shoulders hug in, pelvis down, sphinx, low cobra, high cobra, upward facing dog. Downward facing dog on the next exhale. Look forward, step, walk or jump to the front of the mat. Exhale, bow down. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, rise. Bow. Halfway rise. Step back, all fours or plank. Inhale. Safely down, knees tap, toes down, elbows, shoulders back, pelvis down, rise for your back bend. Exhale, tug toes, hips press back, downward dog. Look forward, step, walk or jump on your inhale, rise. Exhale, bow down. Inhale, rise to the sky. Exhale. One more round. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Arms release. Tree pose, a balance. So standing on 2 feet. And as we release our arms down, we transfer our weight towards the left. Pick up the right heel, the right toes, the right knee, and just hug that leg into you. Find an external rotation, keeping the hips still on a neutral position, and place that heel above or below the knee, pressing it in firm. Allow the surface also to press back into the resistance of that heel, and energize the arms upwards or into cactus arms, or you can simply place the hands in front of your heart. Pause in the pose and find something still and steady to gaze at, and soften your gaze and face of any personality or emotion or expression. One more round of breath in Vrksasana, tree pose. And as we inhale, release the arms, release the leg, come back to 2 feet. Weight transfers to the right. The left heel rises, left toes rise, left knee rises. Hug that leg to you. Find an external rotation, keeping the pelvis on the same level. The heel comes above or below your right knee. The arms come to touch the palms, or we take cactus arms, or we raise the fingers to the sky. Soften your gaze of any expression, personality or emotion. And just listen and hear and feel the sound and sensation of your breath. As we allow one more round of breath in, release it out. Inhale, release arms, release leg, and come back into mountain. Pause for a moment in mountain. And then we're going to step wide into our wide angle position. Tadasana, parallel feet, the heels in line with the baby toes. Forming the thighs, letting the skin and muscles hug the bones, and take a star pose, Tadasana. Fill the space, be the space. Hands drop to the pelvis, knees soften, forward fold on your exhale. Drop the hands down to the ground. If they don't reach, feel free to raise the ground up to you by placing the hands on bricks or books, and hug the elbows into the width of the shoulders. Keeping straight or soft knees, listening to your hamstrings and your lower back. Allow the weight under your feet to be distributed between the heel, the baby, and the big toe joint. And then release the arms and find that hand bind where the hands interlace. The thumbs trace the bones of the spine up, hugging the elbows in, and then we release the arms up and off the back, pointing the index finger into the direction your hands face. A little no with the neck, a little yes, a little bit more yes, a little bit more no. Arms release on your inhale. Raise halfway. And on your exhale, simply turn the ribs towards the right. Gaze up or gaze down. Feel the length of the container of the trunk. Next available inhale, that right arm comes down and you rotate the ribs towards the left. Next available inhale, the arms release. And walk the hands back in, bending the knees. And find external rotation with the columns of the thighs as we bend our right knee and place our right hand onto our right ankle or foot. Use your right elbow to support that tracking of the knee. Reach with your left hand across to the left ankle or foot. Skandasana. We're going to travel low across the center, softening the hips to the ground, turning the head away from the bent knee. And on your inhale, travel across the center. Turn the head, allow the elbow to track the knee over the right toes. Traveling across over to the left elbow tracks the left knee over the left toes, the head turns the other way. And then slowly bring yourself to center. Use your hands to toe heels slightly in just a little bit more. And bring the upper trunk up into goddess pose if you're female. Arms extended into horse stance if you're male. The weight grounded over those 3 points of the feet, the heel, the baby toes, and the big toe joint. As we raise the heels up and pause here, sitting down just a little bit lower. Heels down, rise, inhale, and lower the hands, and toe heel the feet in, or simply step in. And en route, if you have a brick or even a cushion, place that brick or cushion just above the knees and hug that inwards. So actioning that sense of containment back into center. One more round of breath. And then release the brick or cushion. And let's come back into wide angle pose for our side angle poses and triangle. You may find you wish to use a brick. There's 3 levels, high, medium, or low. So just place that brick on the outer edge of your right foot, which is turned out to the short right side. The back foot is parallel to the back edge of the left side of the mat. Trikonasana triangle, the shoulders are directly over the hips. The arms float to the height of the shoulders. The right hip comes down. The left hip rises but spirals outwards, and we extend that whole right side, placing your hands onto your shin, or if you're using a brick, place the knuckles or the palm onto the brick, and lengthen that whole right and left side of the body, firming the thighs, spiraling outwards that left hip, gazing either up in the direction of your left thumb or down towards the ground. Have a sense that you're able to spread the feet a little wider, and allowing your next inhale, rise slowly up and come into Virabhadrasana 2. The front knee tracks over the front right toes. So placing the left hand down onto that left thigh, flip the right palm up and reverse your warrior 2. Slide down that back left thigh, opening and extending even more the right side of the body. from right hip crease to right fingertips. Back leg firm, feet grounded and rooted. Next available exhale, extended triangle, your forearm rests onto that right angle thigh. And you can either tuck your left arm behind the back and open the whole left side of the body just a little bit more. Or that left arm reaches to the sky or into your horizon. Your right elbow can just rest, or you can come down a little bit lower on the outer or inner right shin. So the whole left side of the body is in one long straight line. From the outer edge of the left foot to the outer tip of the left middle finger. Length, long. Your right knee is in the direction of the right toes. One more round of breath and then rise on your inhale to stand. Bend your right knee, turn that foot into parallel. And then let's go to the second side. Bend your left, set your feet, check the alignment of the heels, check the alignment of the shoulders over the pelvis. Arms float to the height of the shoulders, inhale. And as you exhale, your left hip drops down and the right hip tilts and lifts up. Whole left side of the body reaches and floats. Use the hand onto your brick. Use your knuckle, if preferable, or your hand just simply caresses that left shin. Gentle breath, still steady gaze, grounded, rooted feet. So you can be strong but not stressed. You can be strong but not rigid. Grounding down through your feet, spreading them wide, rise slowly up. Exhale, gaze left, Virabhadrasana 2. Take an inhale. As you exhale, right hand down, left palm flips up. Reverse your warrior. Keep your back, right thigh firm. Keep the left knee pressing, rooting down in the direction of the left toes. Next available exhale, your left elbow rests onto that left thigh. Your right arm can tuck behind the back to roll that shoulder down and away. And then the arm can stay there or extend up and over to your horizon. As your left arm stays or reaches down on the outer edge of your left shin. Imagine your breath brushing up and down the side right body. Spread the feet wide, rise up. Soften your arms, bend your left knee, and toe heel the feet back in, or simply step in. And you can simply hug the inner thighs in together, or place that brick above the knees, and that gentle hugging and containing inwards. breath to marinate the system. And then release. And come down to rest into child's pose. So sweep the arms wide and up. Take a forward fold on your exhale. Halfway rise on your inhale. And step back into downward facing dog on your exhale. On your next inhale, tap your knees, take the toes back. And if you wish, use a brick and just simply place it underneath the brow in the space between the forehead. Make some shapes with your face. Coming back into that light, gentle, coherent breath. And then using your hands, slowly allow yourself to roll up and coming onto your knees. So standing on the knees in preparation for a back bend. I want you to really press your shins and top of your toes to the floor. If possible, bring the palms of the hands to face your back, so your fingers are upwards. And if that's not possible, then just have the fingers facing downwards, but hug the elbows in and drop the shoulders. So that tailbone lengthens down and the shins firm down. Hug your elbows in and lift and broaden your chest. And you can keep your chin softly onto your chest. And have that sense of lifting and opening the front chest even more as we firm and root our lower limbs down even more. I invite you to close your eyes. I invite you to breathe in and out in the space in the front of the chest. Your next exhale, use your hands, press down, rise up. And then just slowly sit your hips back down onto your heels. And allow one recovery breath here. Second camel pose. Use an inhale to rise. Hands come onto the back. Tailbone lengthens down to the back of your heels. Firm your toes and your shins to the floor. Lift and broaden the chest. Hug the elbows in. And just keep the chin resting forward. If it's available to you, reach down to find your feet. And lift and broaden the front chest even more. If you're comfortable with dropping the head back, please do so. Placing the hand behind the skull, lift your head. Placing the hands onto your back, lengthen the chest upwards. And on your exhale, allow the hips to come to sit down on the heels. So we'll take one more camel pose in your choice of variation. Hands resting onto your back or reaching down towards the feet and allowing the head to drop gently back. 3 breaths here. Hands come to your back, Hand rests on the skull. Please manually lift the head up. Raise the trunk up. Release the arms and come to sit down onto the hips. Take a moment to inhale. And on your next available exhale, bring the toes together and open the hips. So before you rush to take a forward fold, just take a moment in between and then allow your body to come and extend forward for wisdom pose. And either resting the chin and chest onto the ground or simply take the forehead and rest here. Your hands walk back in. And we'll take a twist to neutralize any work we've done in our spine. Bharavajasana is a simple seated twist, so coming to sit on your left hip, either on a brick or a bolster or cushion, and both legs tuck off towards the right hand side. Your left arm reaches around and we catch the right elbow. If it's not available, please use a strap around your elbow. On your exhale, simply rotate the ribs off towards the left. Be very conscious you're not over-rotating in the neck. And then where your forearm connects with your back, slightly press the back to touch that forearm. So no overarching and tipping over to lift up. Keep the spine long. One more round of breath. Your inhale releases and you just come back into neutral spine. Before we come onto our shins and change sides for Bharavajasana, simple seated twist on our second side. Inhale, the right arm reaches around the back, catches that left elbow, and the left arm rotates the rib cage off towards the right hand side. De-rotate the neck slightly. Soften your gaze. Next inhale, simply de-rotate. And come to lie with the legs out in front. So have the legs just a little bit wider than your hips. And just allow the arms to rest away from the sides of your body. If that's not comfortable at all for your spine, then feel free to bend your knees and drop your knees in together. So this would be an alternative Shavasana. Or we extend the legs out. I invite you to close your eyes. Allow the mouth to soften.